Hey good noodles, it's time again for the next installment of the Baby Survivor's Guide. If you're new to Dead by Daylight and you need a little help getting started, this is the place to be. I've already got several videos on the subject, so please go check out my playlist for all of the help that I can give. Today, I'm going to try to make a comprehensive guide on all the best starting perks that you can use. So, let's get started. If you want to see that spicy Baby Survivor gameplay in action, please go check out my Twitch. I stream 4 days a week, so it's easy to catch. Today I want to go over some perks that I really think will help you out as you start off your trials in Dead by Daylight. There are a few things specifically that are going to be a little more difficult to grasp when you're just starting off the game, so you want to pick perks that are going to help you with those things specifically. These things are skill checks, running the killer, and being a good teammate. You get skill checks while doing generators and healing yourself or a teammate. They're not too hard to learn, but they can throw you off when you're first getting started. If you find yourself a bit overwhelmed by skill checks, a great perk to run would be Technician. Currently, it gives you a 50-50 chance not to blow up a generator when you miss a skill check, but it's about to be reworked, so it will make it so you never blow up a generator, even if you miss a skill check. Not a bad choice for a survivor starting off. There are no perks that help you with healing skill checks, but there are add-ons for medkits that can increase the skill check bar, making it a little bit easier. Let's go over perks that make running away from the killer a lot easier. Mostly, the perks that will help you with running are called exhaustion perks. Most of these will give you the exhausted status in return for a boost of speed to get you away from the killer. These are definitely useful in giving yourself a head start to get to a safer area to loop the killer. The best starter exhaustion perk is definitely Sprint Burst. You don't have to do anything special to activate it, you just start running and it gives you an instant boost of speed. Not only does it give you a head start, but a lot of times, Sprint Burst will actually work as a deterrent to being chased. Especially if the killer spots you with another survivor, they're more likely to chase the survivor who didn't get a boost of speed as you both ran away. Be sure to check out all of the exhaustion perks to see if there's one you'll like better, but I definitely recommend Sprint Burst. You do have to wait a bit in between using exhaustion perks. After you use it, you'll get the status effect Exhausted. It only wears off if you stop running for 40 to 60 seconds, depending on the perk level. Since you're more than likely not going to start off as a pro looper, you're probably going to want to avoid being found and chased at all. There are some really good perks that can help you be more stealthy and avoid the killer's gaze. The first one I would suggest is Spine Chill. This is a great perk that a lot of high-ranked survivors use as well. It alerts you if the killer is within 36 meters of you and looking in your direction. This is really good with stealth killers that have no terror radius, but it also helps out with killers who do have one. I know a lot of new survivors that leave the generator at the very instant they hear a terror radius. Sometimes though, the killer is focused on someone else and is just chasing them somewhere near you. If that's the case, it's not dangerous to stay on your gen as long as they don't leave the chase. So, if you hear the terror radius but Spine Chill isn't activating, you're more than likely okay to stay there. Another decent stealth perk is Urban Evasion. It increases your movement speed for crouching by 100% at level 3. This lets you move quickly while staying crouched, which can help you lose the killer or hide from them. I personally don't think Urban Evasion is too strong of a perk, but it can help you out when you're just getting started. Now, if you're going to be spending most of your time being stealthy, and you can't run the killer for long, you're still gonna need to be a good teammate. Dead by Daylight Survivor is all about being a cohesive team. Without that, you will lose. Altruistic perks can come in really clutch and pull a victory from the jaws of defeat. I'm going to suggest you take at least one altruistic perk that helps with safe unhooks. First one I'd suggest is We'll Make It. This perk activates right after you unhook another survivor, and it increases your healing speed by 100%. This makes it so you can pull a survivor off the hook and then heal them in 8 seconds. At tier 3, this effect lasts for 90 seconds, so you can use that speed boost to help multiple survivors and not just the one you pulled off the hook last. With this perk, you want to be the one going for the unhooks most of the time. However, you still have to make sure you aren't pulling them off right in front of the killer. Since your heal is so fast, you want to start healing them the moment you pull them off the hook. If you're worried about farming your teammates, which you should be, at least a little bit, one of the best altruistic perks you can bring is Borrowed Time. Borrowed Time is a great perk that activates when you unhook your teammate in the killer's terror radius. If a killer is camping and you have this perk, it's best to try to get the unhook yourself. If you unhook in the killer's terror radius and the killer attacks the injured person that was just hooked, they will get a deep wound instead of being put into the dying state. This will give them the same boost of speed you get when you are attacked and give them a chance to get away. If you are in the deep wound state, you do have to mend yourself before the orange bar disappears, otherwise you will be put into the dying state. I do want to make this super clear. Borrowed Time will only activate if you unhook in the terror radius. This doesn't count if the killer doesn't have a terror radius because you are oblivious. An example of this would be if you're against a Freddy and you're asleep. The last perk I'm going to mention can work both as an altruistic perk and as a stealth perk. It's definitely intended to work as an altruistic perk, but I've found it has multiple uses. Empathy. This perk shows the auras of survivors that are injured. You can use this to see survivors that are being chased by the killer and try to avoid the area that they're in. You can also use this to locate and heal your injured teammates, or even to make sure you aren't leading the killer to an injured teammate when you're being chased. I use this perk a lot when I first started out, so I like recommending it. I know I've touched on a lot of different perks today, but I hope you found these suggestions helpful. The best thing about perks is that you can really use different ones to play the game the way you want to. Don't be afraid to try out different perks that sound fun or go outside the box. The best advice I can give about perks is to always read them in their entirety. You might miss something that activates it or understanding exactly what it does if you don't take the time to read it through first. Please let me know if you like my perk suggestions and let me know if you have any interesting builds for starting players. Please also check out my other videos like the one I have on totems, and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you like this video. Until next time, we'll see you in the fog. Goodbye. No! Do it! Do it! He just stared at me, do it!